Let's pass it over to Nicholas.
All right.
So, let's see what we got. It was water. Nick, you're objectively a man of few words. What is a topic that you could just talk all day about until your little vocal cords turn into California raisins?
The only thing I know about is music, and so I don't know I'm quite boring. I don't know anything about anything else. Yeah.
Like, what would a conversation? If I was like, "Hey, Nick, let's like chat music right now." I've got a whole day.
I could have went into more detail on the Lydian scale and Killer Clowns from Outer Space and the Dickies. I could have probably talked for another 10 minutes on that. You know.
Okay.
Jazz. He studied jazz for like a year.
Yeah.
Let's talk jazz. Let's talk jazz. Did you ever play in a jazz band or anything like that?
I never played in a band, but I did play with a few different groups, just playing, like, they're called casuals, like jazz casuals, which is basically like they assemble a group for a one-time performance at like a private event or like a restaurant or something like that. So I did a good amount of those when I was getting out of music school. And then basically you're booked to play 3 or 4 hours and you've never rehearsed before, and you show up and everybody kind of knows the selection of songs that you might play and knows those songs, and then you can stretch out a song for 10 minutes, you know, and then so over 3 or 4 hours you may only play like 10 songs or so, but so I've done a good amount of that. Yeah.
I played in jazz band in high school.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
It was interesting because I played guitar, and there was another guy who read music great, and he was a jazz guitar player. And I came from punk and hardcore, but I could shred. You know, I could play guitar by ear. I'm telling you what, that was the worst decision they could have ever made. But it always worked because they'd be like, okay, like launch into a solo. And I would literally play like panic chords, like over, like it would sound like a Norma Jean song, like over like a jazz standard, like "Fly Me to the Moon," and be like,
yeah,
like over it. And then we'd always play this thing called Big Band Bash every year, and we always called it Big Band Smash because we would just drink like 240s a piece, and we would get so drunk and play. And I remember, God bless him, Adam, the other guitar player, he'd look at me and go, I'm gonna turn down your amp a little bit before this because I just would be too drunk. And I was about 17 years old. So.
I would say probably the only difference between playing stuff that sounds like weird Norma Jean chords and playing jazz is just confidence, you know, because like most jazz stuff nowadays will eventually get to like where you were starting at, but that will be like several minutes into a solo. So you're just jumping right to the exciting part.
Talking like Snarky Puppy. You ever listen to Snarky Puppy at all?
I like Snarky Puppy. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me they might throw in a couple little.
They might throw in some of those dissonant. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Can you scat at all or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I do when we're writing. I will sing some stuff, but like if you mean like actually like scatting and singing a solo, not really.
Doing that at all?
Yeah, not. I would.
He probably could do it, but he wouldn't want
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Also, like I lose my voice pretty quickly if I talk too much, so it's not really possible I can sing scatting a solo, you know.
So when you were like writing the chorus to like cult classic, you weren't like scooby doo boop scooby doo scooby ski scooby doo. You weren't like that. Oh, okay. Well, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kat, you're up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Water.
Boring. Let's go.
So, Kat, I feel like you have a more open third eye to the supernatural and aliens and ghosts and specters and all those kind of ghouls and goblins and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm very into it.
Have you ever seen anything that's been unexplained, whether that be ghosts, aliens, maybe it was on the road or anything like that? Anything that you're like, that was a little strange and I can't really explain that. It was a little spooky.
I mean, I personally haven't seen any ghosts or anything supernatural, whether you feel it or not. I haven't seen anything, but people around me have. Like, my mother was a tarot card reader, so she would tell me things that she experienced. My sister saw some things. So people close to me saw it, but I think I've closed myself off because I just don't want to see it.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I'm a fucking chicken shit.
Spooky.
But I have had some things that were hard to explain in terms of like psychic readings, where there's no way people would know, or this person would know anything about certain things they told me. Like, one example, and it's really personal, but when I went there, you know, she was telling me all these things about like my dad, and she said and she touched her arm and she said, you have a tattoo for your dad. And I had long sleeves that day. And I said, I do, it's my ghost. But even then I'm like, maybe she looked up my number, found my page, saw some post from years ago. You know, I always try and think, I have like that logical brain, and I also have that spiritual brain. So it's always at combat. But then she says, your mom is, because both my parents have passed. So she said, your mom is telling you, after everything you've witnessed and everything she's witnessed, you still are kind of a non-believer these days. And I said, yeah, I guess I am kind of turning into that. Like, I don't know if I believe in an afterlife anymore, blah, blah, blah. So she said, your mom wants me to tell you that you have a lock of her hair. And at that point, nobody knew that but 3 people, me, Nick, and my friend Maggie, who cut the lock of my mom's hair when she was lying on the floor, passed away. That to me was the ultimate. I never posted about it. I never told a friend about it. My own sister didn't even know about it at that time. Maggie says, do you want me to look at your mom and see if she's presentable enough for you to look at her? And I said, yeah, maybe look at her first. So she lifted up the sheet and she instantly was crying. She was like, don't look at your mom. Like, it's not your mom anymore. So she says to me, would you want me to cut a lock of her hair? And it was such a weird question because, I mean, that's so like, I don't know, like old time days, like who keeps a lock of people's hair anymore? But I said yes, because in that moment I was afraid to say no and then regret it. So I said yes. She put it in a little baggie, a plastic baggie. I gave it to Nick and I was like, put this in a place that we'll never lose, but I'll never find it on my own because I don't know if I'm ready to. And this psychic said that. So, and I can, honest to God, I've never said, there's no way in heaven or hell she would ever know that. So that is like a weird thing I can't explain.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is wow.
Yeah. So it made me believe that maybe there is something of an afterlife or some energy that she was able to tap into.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Okay.
Shot.
Nick, let's take a shot right now.
Water.
Water.
Hey,
Okay.
lucky boy.
All right.
Looks like I'm getting all the shots.
Nick, you obviously talk about being a lover of all kinds of music. You know, you love so many different kinds. What would you say is the most unexpected influence that kind of seeps into the sound of Holy Wars that people would be like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that you were into like, Ashley Simpson or something like that, you know?
Let me see. I guess I watch a lot of movies when I'm working on music. So I guess like the weirdest thing would be just like stuff that I hear in movies. Like when we were at dinner a couple weeks ago, I was saying lately I'm watching a lot of romantic comedies when I'm working on music.
So which ones?
Anything with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore is good. And so those tend to have like really kind of like really fun themes to them. So that kind of seeps in there in a way. And then like also just besides that, like I love pop, like very, very pop, Taylor Swift and
You're a Swiftie?
Yeah. So I have a playlist right now that I'm playing a lot and it's got a lot of Taylor Swift on there and
St. Vincent.
Yeah, St. Vincent's on there. That one's probably a little bit easier to believe that that's an influence. But yeah, I love just like super mainstream pop music. That's all cool to me, you know.
Would you ever have like Mr. Deeds playing in like the background?
Oh, easy, fellas.
You're talking
Yeah.
Sandler.
I love Mr. Deeds.
Movie,
I've seen that probably like more than 100 times, that movie.
Winona Ryder too, you know? Yeah, she stole all that stuff, but you know, haven't we all? You know? So, next question, Kat.
Cheers.
Tequila.
It's tequila, yeah. I need to take it
Oh, yeah.
in a little increments. Ooh, this is like my fourth shot.
I mean, you tell me.
Yeah, start the question. I'm just going to keep drinking it.
Okay. So my question is, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
You're obviously a very talented human. And we obviously... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Obviously you can sing the sing, you can dance the dance, you can, jump the jump and all these things, write the right,
I write the right, yeah.
But do you have any hidden talents that we don't know about that, the listeners or viewers would like to know?
I do.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's a talent. I could lick my own nipple.
You can lick your own nipple.
I could lick my own nipple. It's just very easy. I take it and I could lift it up and I could lick it. It's so there's no talent. It's just my body, I guess.
Do you have to go like cup?
Yeah, I'll have to
like
give
shimmy it up.
I mean, I could do it literally right now, but I won't.
That's for the Patreon subscribers.
That's for holyfans.com.
Holy fans, yes.
I don't know if this is a talent, but I could I don't know, like tongue stuff.
Tongue stuff, folks. So, licking nipples and tongue stuff.
Okay, but PC, I'm a dancer, and I was not many people know that I'm a dancer, and I was a dancer before anything else. So
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, since I was in kindergarten, I was like competitive dancing.
You like break dancing?
No, more like jazz, tap, ballet, hip hop. Eventually became hip hop.
You can clickety clack?
I mean, I could back in the day, and then I went into Millennium Dance Complex a few years ago, and I was like, I'm going to take an advanced class because that's how I do it. And I was, not good. Not compared to everybody else that actually was advanced hip hop, but.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm a dancer, and that rhythm has played into like me being a musician and how I move on stage. But I actually have been a part of competitive dancing for many years.
Got the rhythm in your soul, girl.
I got the rhythm.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.
That's beautiful. Nick, you got any hidden talents? So besides having a humongous cock and balls, what hidden talents do you possess?
I don't think I have any hidden talents. I think I'm using everything I got. I don't have anything left to that I'm keeping secret.
Tennis and basketball.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You who?
Yeah. I used to play basketball. I wanted to be a professional basketball player before I was a musician, but there aren't that many Hispanic basketball players, and so I don't really have like the genetic makeup to really take it all the way.
Were you like a student of the 90s like Chicago Bulls era, like Pippen, Jordan, Rodman?
Yeah, of course. I loved the Bulls. So I did that for a while, right up until I started playing guitar. That was the thing that I did that I stopped doing as soon as I started playing guitar.
That's interesting. I'm actually trying to find other adult men that want to play baskall as well too sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to shoot hoops.
I don't really. I mean, I haven't played in such a long time right now, but I still can dribble and do some of that kind of stuff. But now I just sit at a desk all day, and then when we play shows, then I run around doing that. But I don't really play in a while, so maybe that would be good. Yeah.
Maybe we'll play a game of horse or something.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, so now it is Nick's question though, because we give a bonus one.
All right, let's go. What's it gonna be? Knew it. Water. I'm gonna get all the shots.
Nick, as the producer, and the writer of the majority of the instrumental compositions that the band does, what is your recipe behind the rock? What makes your rock the rock?
I don't really have one. I wish I did, and I always try and work on having one. But right now, it just includes like pulling my hair out and lots of like her waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then seeing me still up and being like, "You're still awake," and me saying, "I'm almost done. I'm almost done."
He's got a addiction.
So now when I try and have a process, now I'm always kind of getting a bit closer to having a process. I just try and pick one instrument that's like the main instrument, and then I try and do a whole pass of the song all the way through, and one live take all the way through, and I keep doing that until that feels right, and then I start building on that. And so instead of, like, I used to start with the drums, but then you kind of get going in the wrong direction by trying to make something like that perfect. So I try and pick one simple element and then nail that and then build on that. But then the song's always changing, because then she'll hear it and then, you know, we'll realize the song's too slow or it's in the wrong key. And so it's not really one way. It's just always like the song's not done until we finally have the final mix. And then
Rachel hears it.
yeah.
Rachel says it's
Yeah, and then sometimes Rachel has thoughts on it, and then, you know, so yeah, I don't know how people have a process to do. We certainly don't have a process, just that, like, just a ton of time spent on it.
Yeah.
You know?
I
Yeah.
have a question for Nick.
Yeah.
How would you say, because a lot of people talk about his guitar tones,
Oh, yes.
and is there a formula or a magic behind the guitar tones you get?
No, because I've never really used the same thing always, but I do pick really, really hard, and then when I see how other people pick, I pick harder than most people that I see. And then also, it's really nerdy, but also, like, I pick and I follow through to the next string, so I get a loud pick, and then I get the sound of the string right above the one that I'm playing, and so I get a very, very loud, like, pointy note on, if the tempo is right, I can play a whole part like that, and so that makes it louder and more kind of in your face. So that's probably, like, the biggest part of it. So you'll see me sometimes play like this, playing a whole part like this.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. And very few people do that. But I actually picked that up for one of my old jazz teachers. So that's probably the only thing that I do that's different than people.
It all comes back to jazz.
Yeah.